to Bedford Bible Church. Just had a couple of quick things I wanted to share with you that are happening here this coming Sunday. And so it's been a while since I've done one of these videos, and I'm trying to get back in the habit of it to give you a brief review of what has happened, to look ahead to the weekend and just share a few announcements. So first of all, two important announcements. The first is that this coming Sunday morning, during the Sunday school hour, beginning at 10 o'clock, there's going to be a new class for young couples. Now, I've been asked what qualifies as a young couple or young adults. I am 39, I'll be 40 this year. So currently, young is around about that age. So if you wonder if the class is going to be for you, just shoot me a message and try not to make this awkward. But it's going to be targeting, as I said, young couples, young adults, and the idea is to look at relationships and work and parenting and things that really pertain to people in that stage of life. And so that begins this Sunday, and that's a class that I will be teaching. If you have never been to our church, then when you arrive, just let someone know that you're interested in that class. It begins at 10 o'clock, as I said, and someone will show you the room where we are meeting. And that room for our regulars is the kitchen. And so I can't guarantee that there'll be coffee and muffins and stuff, but there's a very good possibility. Also this Sunday, we are beginning a new start time for our Sunday evening service. So historically, the service has always been at 7 o'clock, but several people have questioned about the lateness of the time, being a Sunday evening and starting out into a new week and having to get kids up in the morning for school and others getting up for work. And so it was considered to change the service time to 6 o'clock, and as a church we discussed that and decided that we would move ahead with a new start time. So from this coming Sunday, February the 9th, we will be beginning the evening service at 6 p.m. And I have joked with the church that, you know, I never said that we would finish any earlier, but we will be. The service is going to last for the normal amount of time, but we will be beginning earlier. So that also means our choir will begin 1 hour earlier as well, choir practice. So what's happened in the last Sunday? Now my goal is to keep this video within 3.5 minutes. So that gives me about 45 seconds, give or take. So Sunday mornings we're going through the Great Commission, and we're working our way very slowly, very deliberately and purposefully through the account of the Great Commission in Matthew 28 verses 16 through 20, and we've looked at what the Great Commission is and what the gospel is. The Great Commission is to take the gospel into all the world, and the gospel is the good news of Jesus Christ, that he came to save sinners. The following service, we looked at the power of the Great Commission. God has empowered his people to complete the tasks set before them. The plan of the Great Commission is to go into all the world, is to go and send. And so we not only send others around the world, but we must go with the gospel message here as well. And then this last week we looked at the picture of the Great Commission, what demonstrates in a visible way what the Great Commission is all about. And the answer to that is baptism. Baptism doesn't save anyone. Baptism doesn't make anyone a Christian. Baptism just demonstrates to witnesses, and it declares something to witnesses that Christ has already done in the heart and life of the believer. And so we considered the role of baptism in the Great Commission. This coming Sunday, we're moving on to what enables the Great Commission to persevere, to continue down through the ages and across communities and around the world, and that is discipleship. It's one believer investing their lives in another believer, training them to continue the work of the ministry. Sunday evenings, we've been considering 1 Peter 4 verses 1 through 10, and we've been looking at what it means to be stewards of grace. Now, a steward is someone entrusted with something, and we've been entrusted with the grace of God. And so the truths we've been drawing from that have had to do with what it means to be a trustworthy servant of the Lord. And this past Sunday, we really focused on what it meant to be a steward of God's grace. The grace of God to save us, the grace of God to enable us to serve him, and the grace of God to strengthen us and to help us to stand. This coming Sunday, as we continue to look more broadly at what it means to be not just a steward of grace, but to look at some of the graces that God has bestowed upon us and to consider stewardship in a wider scope. We're going to be considering what it means to be a steward of time. So how do we use our time? How do we waste our time? How do we make the most of our time as we seek to be a good steward of what God has given to us? And so I trust that you'll be able to come along and join us this weekend to any or all of the services. And of course, this evening we'll continue working our way through the model prayer as we consider how Jesus taught us how to pray. And that's at our prayer meeting and Bible study here at Bedford Bible Church beginning at 7 p.m. Now, I've gone 2 minutes over my target, but I'm going to try and keep these shorter in the future. But if we can help you in any way, if you have any questions, please do let us know. You can reach us on our Facebook page, through the website, and you can call us here at the church. The phone number here is 814-623-7229. Please like and share this video and help us to spread the message of what God is doing here with your family and friends. God bless you, and I hope to see you soon.